Sky Judge is dead, unless, of course, it isn't. Although what the NFL has adopted is a far cry from what the NFL needs to adopt. This is a play last year that would have been subject and was subject to replay review for pass interference. That ended up being a debacle, either because of the concept or because of the execution. That is gone now. That was the reaction of the Rams-Saints play. So the new reaction of the Rams-Saints play from the 2018 NFC Championship game is to basically make the replay assistant available to the referee if the referee initiates the communication with the replay assistant. Nobody buzzes down to the referee. The referee is the one that has to acknowledge, hey, maybe there's a reason to talk to the replay assistant and see if we can get some help from the replay assistant, who's already there anyway. They already have that position staffed. There are 6 points that the referee can seek input from the replay assistant on: game administration, complete, incomplete, or intercepted pass, touching of a loose ball, boundary line, goal line, or end line, location of the ball in relation to a boundary line, the line of scrimmage, the line to gain, or the goal line, down by contact if the ruling on the field was not down by contact, and status of the game clock regarding when the time on the game clock can be restored. Those are the 6 ways, Big Cat, that the referee can talk to the replay assistant during the game for input. Now, they're doing this on an experimental basis for the preseason. They may adopt it for the regular season. They want to see how this works. Here's the problem. And right, the whole purpose of trying to fix the system was to prevent another Rams-Saints non-call of pass interference in a playoff game debacle. This system omits the ability of the referee to get any input from the replay assistant as to whether or not there was an egregious instance of pass interference. So it doesn't fix the original problem. That's what's so bizarre about it. They have this major problem that sparks a reaction last year to try to fix it. What they did last year didn't work. So now this year, well, we got to do something else. We got to look. I think it all comes down to this. We have to look like we give a crap. We have to look like we're trying to make things better. This will make it look like we're trying, even though this procedure would never, if it was in place in 2018, would never have fixed the Rams-Saints non-call of pass interference debacle. It's ridiculous that we've gotten to this point where they're coming up with solutions that don't address the problem.
Well, it goes back to my original point that there isn't a major problem. That was an overreaction after an egregious play that obviously had huge repercussions and cost the Saints a spot in the Super Bowl, but it happens
Other than that,
once
it's not a problem.
every...
Huge repercussions that screwed the Saints out of an appearance in the Super Bowl that they earned, but it really isn't a big problem.
Mike,
come on.
Mike, though, what happened against the Saints is egregious. I don't disagree with that. It has happened once, and now we are going to change
is too many
times.
Way.
I understand what your thought process, Mike.
Okay,
but the NFL became unwatchable. The NFL became unwatchable when it came to the pass interference reviews last year. It was a terrible implementation of a rule that was trying to fix this one-off situation that a ref completely missed, and I agree. So it goes back to my original point, Mike, that forget all of this stuff. Just give me the big button. Give me the big button that someone can mash if something like that ever happens again. And guess what?
But this isn't the big button.
Probably happen again. I know.
This isn't the big button.
I agree, but but I think reviewing pass interference, giving the refs the ability to review pass interference, is still the wrong way to do it because they will use it too many times. It needs to literally just be if there is a blatant, egregious rule miss, and that really happened in that Saints-Rams game, and it doesn't happen often, if at all. Like to that level where there's no nuance. It's cut and dry. That was a pass interference. It should have been a pass interference. They completely missed it. I really do think I know what your frustration is. I understand that there's a lot of different things at play here. Gambling is a very good point by you. The fact that it happens just once is too many times. But I can't tell you enough from the viewer's perspective. Watching the game and watching pass interference replays and trying to decipher whether a guy pass interfered on a slow motion replay really hurts the viewership of the game and really hurts watching the game experience, and having just even the ref's ability to do that doesn't fix the problem because they will do it. They will check so many times just to make sure. If a guy's sitting there and he has to keep hitting the button, it's going to be the same thing, just a different way.
I hear you. Couple of things. First of all, the whole thing about I wanted replay review for pass interference. I know it's a funny shtick for you, like admitting you dye your hair.
I
never wanted it. I never wanted replay review for pass interference, and I don't want replay review for pass interference. I want something to fix what happened last year in January in the Rams-Saints NFC Championship game. What frustrates me about this is they are wasting time. They are wasting resources. They are wasting effort creating a system that is aimed at making us think they've addressed the problem when they aren't addressing the problem. They're addressing a different problem. They're addressing a separate problem. And they're making the replay assistant available to the referee. If the referee happens to realize, oh, you know what, we may have screwed that play up, that's what's ridiculous about it. Here's what they're doing. Number one, they don't want to undermine in any way the referee, and this gets into politics and the referee and the status of the referee, and you don't want to have someone in that booth that is looking over the referee's shoulder. God forbid anyone should be looking over the shoulder of someone who is charged with administering the rules correctly. Oh, we can't have that. So they don't want someone who has power that is equal to or greater than the referee to buzz down and say, hey, you may want to drop a flag there. So they've set this up to give the referee full power. Secondly, they don't want to pay Big Cat. That's what this comes down to. They don't want to hire 17 people to serve as sky judge, so they're going to have the replay assistant who's already under salary, already under contract, who is there in the event the referee decides, hey, you know what, maybe I need to talk to the replay assistant, and they save the money and the time and the effort for creating this separate system. So they've come up with something to make it look like they're doing something when in reality they're doing nothing.
I have the fix, Mike. I have the fix. I am fixing the NFL this morning, and I know you'll probably poke holes at this, but this one works.
You're fixing it in the way a dog gets fixed, I think, but go ahead.
No, I'm going to tell you the fix. You don't even know the fix. There's a challenge flag, red challenge flag that all coaches get when they get 2 a game. Give them an extra flag. It's the black flag. It challenges any play, no matter what. You can challenge the rule when they say that a defensive lineman puts too much weight on a quarterback. You can challenge pass interference. You can challenge the spot of the ball. You can challenge out of bounds. You can challenge any single play in a game with the black challenge flag, and you get one, and you better use it. Or if you use it, you lose it. But you get one, and that's it. You get one, and you hold on to it, and you get that. And Mike, the added bonus of you get coaches trying to figure out which flag's which, and they're trying to pull out, like they pull out the black flag accidentally when they meant to pull out the red flag, and we get chaos there. That is unintentional, hilarious chaos that happens from my rule. My rule works.
Well, first of all, Jeff Fisher won't be back in the league for that to happen. Second of all, here's the problem. If you let them challenge anything and they challenge pass interference, then we're back to where we were last year.
But it's only
without
one.
Riveron, hang on. But still, one game the standard is here. The next game the standard is here. It's moving around all year long, and it's basically You don't want replay to be the equivalent of shaking a magic 8-ball, which is what it became last year. Here's what they need to do, and I'm going to agree with something you said several minutes ago, and let's circle back to that, and we have to leave it there. I believe there should be the red button, the break glass in event of emergency. I believe that Al Riveron considered doing that by using the pipeline. The microphone that he has at 345 Park Avenue, or if he's on site at a big game where he can talk directly to the referee. I believe he considered in the Rams-Saints game saying, drop a flag, even though the rules say you can't do that. That's not what that pipeline is there for. I think he considered it, and he decided, I can't do it. And that was his mistake. He should have done it. Imagine if he would have done it, what we've been talking about for the last 15 months. I guess we should be grateful he didn't do it. So the point is, and maybe this system is cover for the big button. And if it's not Al Riveron that hits the button, somebody needs to be sitting next to him who is higher on the pecking order than he is. And there aren't a whole lot of people in the league office higher on the pecking order. I can think of 2, Troy Vincent and Roger Goodell. But somebody needs to be saying to Al Riveron, if he's not going to hit the button, you hit the button. And the bigger the game, the more important it is that somebody else is telling him, hit the button. This is an egregious play. And if we don't fix this, we're going to have 6 months of crap from fans, from media, from Congress, from whoever, especially as gambling proliferates. Boy, it was great until I couldn't land the plane.
No, but I agree with
baby.
You. I agree with everything you said. I agree with everything you said.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.